नमस्ते दोस्तों, वेलकम टू द चैनल। आज मैं बात करूंगा लॉन्ग टर्म थिंकिंग के बारे में। लॉन्ग टर्म थिंकिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट व्हेन इट कम्स टू इन्वेस्टिंग एंड वेल्थ क्रिएशन, राइट? बट this is missing in human beings. So I will tell you a little bit of history about long term thinking, and then I will also give you examples ki what humans are doing to inculcate long term thinking among us. तो बहुत सारे projects चल रहे हैं which have started in the world to project that basically कि long term thinking is possible and you should start thinking beyond yourself and beyond our lifetimes also. So if you think about it, human history is 4 billion years old and humans were designed to think short term. Our brains were developed in a way कि the whole idea of our ancestors were protect yourself from predators, और जहाँ पे खाना मिल रहा है just grab that and satisfy your hunger. But eventually as the farm revolution came up and then industrial revolution came up, food was made easily available to us and we started living in houses and in communities and societies. So the risk of death from predators also came down, right? So now but we still think short term, but our brains, even though the human history is 4 billion years old, our brains have evolved over the last 2 million years to start thinking a little bit longer term, right? So even though the human history is 4 billion years old, our brains over the last 2 million years have started thinking in longer term. But this long term thinking has not evolved in a way wherein we think in decades or in centuries, right? We only think about tomorrow or the next year or 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, right? We are worried ki how will I go to office tomorrow? What will my boss say tomorrow, right? That is the worrying about tomorrow. Or what am I going to do with my year-end bonus, or how am I going to manage my expenses 5 years down the line, or my retirement, right? These are the kind of things that we are worried about in the short term. But how do you start thinking about long term? So a lot of people across the world, to inculcate this habit of long term thinking, have developed various projects. So I will talk about few of the projects with examples and give you some examples to show you कि exactly क्या चल रहा है दुनिया में. But it's a very good way for you to also start thinking long term, okay? Because when it comes to investing, when it comes to wealth creation, right, one is that meeting your financial goals. Even to meet your financial goals, which is 20-30 years away, you really need to work hard to make sure that the capital is available. अगर आप capital ही नहीं डालेंगे, if you don't put in the capital, आपका growth और आपके financial goals कभी achieve ही नहीं होंगे, right? So firstly you have to work hard to put in the capital. Then you should then sit tight, sit patiently and wait for your investment instruments to do their job and provide you that compounding long-end returns, right? So if you see this graph, compounding may, the returns are always back-ended, and you have to front load the investments, right? So principal always has to come from you. It will never come from the returns that your investments make. Returns will come only in the later years, later part of your life. So similarly, let us now understand. So for all of this, long-term thinking is very important. So let us now understand what are some of the projects that are going on in the world to help humans think longer term, right? So I'm going to read out some of the interesting projects, friends, which span from hundreds of years to thousands of years, right? So let us understand. So there is this project going on by Rachel Sussman, who is creating the oldest project titled oldest living thing in the world. So इसमें what is happening is that she is photographing lichens in Greenland that are over 2000 year old as of today, and they only grow 1 centimeter every 100 years, right? So these are the photographs she is creating. I'll add the links to these projects in the description box. You should take a look at it. Then there is Jonathan Keats, who has installed a deep time camera in Tempe, Arizona, so which is taking 1,000-year-old long exposure photograph of the city skyline, and this photo will be displayed in 3015. So can you imagine someone starting a project for which he will never be alive to see the results of it, right? So this is a 1,000-year project, right? So then there is the artist called Kunze, who is started a project called Memory of Mankind project. So in this project, he aims to preserve endangered memories of humankind by depositing 1,000 books in a salt mine in Austria. So this will be stored in a ceramic microfilm tablet for 1,000,000 years, friends. 1,000,000 years, right? So even our children and their children will not be able to see the results of such projects. Then there is one more very interesting project that is started by the Long Now Foundation, who have installed the clock of the Long Now, right? So this clock is supposed to last for 10,000 years. It's an amazing project, right? The device is a clock which is a very big clock and very slow. The clock is designed to last for 10 millennia, which is 10,000 years. It's 200 feet in tall, 200 feet tall, and then it is installed in a limestone mountain, and it is installed in a deserted area where you can't really go on a bike or a car, right? You have to walk for a day to reach this clock. So this is another fascinating project that is going on right now. So folks, the whole idea of all these examples is to help you understand कि अगर आपको wealth create करना है life में, just in your lifetime, I'm not even talking about your kids or their kids, right, your grandkids. The whole idea is that if you yourself want to create some wealth, you need to be really patient, okay? You always have to remember that money in a savings bank account also compounds, right? So for that, what you need to do is you need to put your money and wait. If you really want to create wealth, okay, if you foresee that you will live long, and or you want to leave a legacy for your children and grandchildren, then you should definitely start thinking in longer term horizons. And I'll just give you an example, okay? Let's take this calculator. Few simple examples of investing just 10,000 rupees per month with an expected annual return of 11% for we will start with 25 years and then keep increasing it to see the magic of compounding. Compounding works, friends, but you need to give compounding time. So let me just say, अगर for example अगर आपने अभी 10,000 per month की SIP start करी and for 25 years you will end up with just 1.57 crores, okay? And if you see the majority of the returns will come in the last few years, wherein if at the end of 20th year you had 86 lakhs, but at the end of 25th year you had 1.57 crores. So you made almost 70 lakhs here, right? So similarly, now let us see what happens when you make it 40 years. So if you make it 40 years, you will see that this is 8.6 crores, right? So in just another 15 years, you have added around 7 crore rupees. Now make it 50 years and see the magic. So the longer your horizon, better it is for you. You will, even though you will not enjoy the fruits of compounding, your kids will enjoy, your grandkids will enjoy. You see 25 crores in 50 years, and 25 crores in 50 years is still a very big amount, right? It's not that it's going to be a small amount, and it's not that you will not be able to invest more than 10,000. It's just not about wealth, it's about everything else. अगर आपको लाइफ में कुछ बनना है, कुछ करना है, you need to be consistent and do it for a long time. Like if you want to be a painter, if you want to be an artist, if you want to play an instrument, you do it for a very long time and keep doing it for years. To at the end of at the end of 10 to 20 years, you're a master in something, right? So for mastery, you need to put in that there's a saying that you need to put in 10,000 hours of work to create mastery in anything. Similarly, to create wealth also you need to put in so much time to make sure that you reach your goals, right? So friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and do not forget to comment as well. Thank you.